everyone, I am Diana, and this is my battle buddy Jess. Welcome back to episode 15 of
Unfiltered and Unarmored.
We're just two veteran women out here trying to figure out life after the military, healing, unlearning, rediscovering who we are, but somehow still trying to survive adulthood without losing our fucking minds.
Because let's be honest, being grown is a fucking scam.
Bills,
Stress,
responsibilities,
people needing things from you every 5 minutes.
and somehow you're supposed to still drink water, heal your inner child, go to therapy, answer all the texts that come through, and keep your house clean. Absolutely fucking no.
And then add military life into that.
Add motherhood,
Sacrifice
strength,
and trying to hold everything together while life gets heavy.
because people see a strong woman and think, oh, she's good. She got this. She's always okay.
But sometimes the strongest people are carrying the heaviest things.
Exactly. Because behind titles like veteran, mom, strong woman, wife, leader, there's still a real person underneath all of that.
And today we're talking to somebody whose story goes way deeper than titles.
Yes, because today we have Karen joining us and we're talking about military life, motherhood, her strength, her process of healing, mental health, and who Karen really is underneath the armor.
Because we keep it real here.
Yeah, sometimes we have easy conversations and sometimes we have hard conversations.
And some are truly uncomfortable.
Yes. Hi, Karen. Welcome to the chaos that is this podcast.
Hello, hello, hello.
So, before we start making everybody cry in the car emotionally, let's start easy. We're just going to talk about you, not Karen in the military, not Karen as a mom, not Karen the strong woman, just Karen. Tell us who Karen is.
Karen is a very passionate person who loves to give it all, not waiting for nothing in return, but at times questions herself like, when is it going to be my turn to get a little piece of what I give? It really makes me happy to like help out and see other people happy and cry with people of happiness. But at times, even that's dreadful. So I would say that's Karen in a nutshell, to be honest, apart from everything else that I am.
That's a good answer.
I love that. Okay, so here is my juicy question. I want to know all the details. How did you two meet?
I met Diana through my high school sweetheart, my sophomore year in high school, through this guy who I thought was the love of my life. He was my actual first boyfriend. They were like besties back then. So, at first I was like, I think this girl's gonna hate me because that's like the bestie of my boyfriend. But little did I know we became really, really, really good friends. And our journey just kept on going. I mean, Diana was like my left and right hand in high school. I mean, we did so many things
Hmm,
together. She was one of those friends that, like, even throughout the years that we haven't really, like, physically seen each other, look, we're still here.
I love that. Damn,
I,
Diana, you can be sweet.
I
Yeah,
know,
she is
right?
sweet. She is sweet. When I first saw her, she was very intimidating because, she was in the very perky, like, "Oh, hi, I'm Diana." She was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, shit. Like, this is not gonna be good." I usually get along even with, like, the meanest people, like, "Oh, you're not gonna get along with her." And I'm like, "You'll see." I'm not gonna lie, it took me a little bit. But once I did, I was like, "Yay, she's my BFF. So what's up?" I mean, back then, my boyfriend, he would like do things that wasn't cool. He had my back, and that was the best friend. So when she had my back, I was like, "Okay, I got this."
Told you, Jess. I always
Yeah,
have
she didn't
women's back.
play. She'll fight anybody in 2 seconds. I'm like, "It's okay, chill. Like, we don't gotta fight. We're good."
That is true. I always say this in the podcast that, I'm like so mean. But the truth is, like, I remember the day that I introduced to Karen because here comes my best friend, boom, running. Hey, hey, my
Mm,
girlfriend is here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, just
yep.
be nice, just be nice. I'm nervous. I'm like, okay. So he introduced Karen and he told me, hey, she's going to start playing soccer and
Mm.
she's going to join the soccer team. Can you take care of her and kind of teach her something? And I was just like, okay, no problem. But I think at the beginning, I thought was kind of weird because obviously when you have a male friend, their girlfriends usually like the other side of Karen was like, oh shit, is she going to be jealous and stuff? But I had other shit going on. I had the first boyfriend that I had forever. He's like a fucking tick that never left.
Yeah.
So I was not really worried about that shit. I was just more worried about like trying to get a scholarship and fucking playing soccer. And Karen knows the truth.
Yeah, and she was good too. So, funny story about soccer. I had no business playing soccer, okay? Before I was in high school, like I was into modeling, I was into acting, like that was my thing. Like that was my passion to this day. I mean, I look at theater, I look at people on stage and I start crying. And I think that's like the healing part of myself that, I'm still not over. And so here I am, I want to join soccer. And the main reason why I joined soccer is because I was so into my boyfriend back then that I wanted to be cool. I remember we tried out to dribble the ball within the cones. And I was like, what am I doing here? And like that's when I became closer to her. I was like, Diana, I need you to help me do this because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, never in my life had I drew a ball. So I got into JV. I felt cool. Diana, of course, she made it to varsity. I was in soccer because of my boyfriend back there. So then having her as like my wingman, I felt like even cooler because I was like, okay, now I'm in the soccer team and I have like a girl. She's like a boss and she knows how to play soccer. That's what really kept me motivated and I loved it. But I remember, Diana,
Mhm.
you were very into like your boyfriend back then. You were like in your own world
Ugh.
too.
But honestly, yeah, even her best friend was like, "Why are you with this guy?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I really didn't know." And I ended up marrying this dude for no fucking reason.
I never understood that part, but no judging zone because girl, we've done some crazy shit in our life. So I'm just like, girl, do you, boo?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But going back to the soccer thing, it was funny because I'm like not really very girly, but during the soccer matches, she would come up with the hairstyles and putting the little freaking ribbons and shit. And then I would walk in there like I was all feminine and shit, you know? And then when they got into the field, I was like,
Yeah,
bitch
yeah.
mode. That
Yeah.
was some fun times.
She was tough. She was a tough soccer player. Diana was really good. I would always be like, damn, Diana, you're fast, man. I remember I used to struggle with running, Diana. I was like, I hate running. And guess what position I played? Fucking midfield. And midfield, you're up and back, up and
Oh,
back, up and
yeah.
back.
Oh.
Those are definitely fun times.
I remember I used to tell you, like, Diana, you have to put a ribbon on your hair so you can look all cute and shit.
Yeah. And then put glitter.
Yeah, I had the girly in me at all times. I was like, I'm playing sports, but I still gotta look cute.
Yes, I love that.
And for the record, Karen gave me my damn nickname that to today I go anywhere around the area and everybody calls me Shorty, Shorty. And I'm like, dude, you don't know my name by now?
Everybody know her by Shorty. Yep.
Yeah. So that's how we met. And then we actually joined the military together, thanks to Karen.
That's another story. We did the battle buddy program together because of me, because I convinced her ass to come with me to the military.
Yeah. My parents were so pissed off at me. Woo, they were really mad. But that's a different story. Now that we talked and you got to know us a little bit more, Jess, we're going to get into the military side, which we could actually tell the story how we joined the military together. Because somewhere along the way, somebody looked at Karen and said, yeah, let's add more stress, more paperwork, and sleep deprivation. Let's join the military. And in actuality, she's the one that did that to me.
Yeah, I'm the one to blame for.
All right, Karen, now let's get into the military side because at some point in life, you looked at the military and said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And now look at us with bad knees, random back pains, and somehow we will still do it again. So I want to ask you, what was honestly the hardest part of being a woman in the military?
The hardest part for me, I would have to say definitely competing with the males at all times. Now it's like easier than back then when it comes to
Oh,
boot
yeah.
camp and stuff. I recall going through just like bulliness, like, men were like, oh, you can't run. And I sucked at running. So when it came to the physical part for me, it was very, very hard. I struggled a lot in passing PT tests because I could not run for shit. I could not run, even if my life depended on it. And then
Hmm.
in boot camp, you have female drill sergeants, which were the fucking worst. They were just mean
Yes.
as hell. So, like, there
Mhm.
was no like, "Hey, I'm on my period, you understand?" They did not care at all. So, I would have to honestly say competing with the males, like, it just came easier for them running, PT, qualifying with their M16, even the gas chamber. Like, I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Man, how am I gonna do this?" And then becoming active duty and doing different duty stations, even having the power and the rank, like that didn't mean anything because the males would always be like, "Pff, I'm not gonna stay in a parade rest. Like when you're just like a little jit. And I'm like, yeah, mofo, but I'm a sergeant. Like, stay in a parade rest, but I dealt with that. I was traumatized by drill sergeants. And then they're like, oh, your first duty station is working in a chemical unit with drill sergeants. I'm like, excuse me, what? No. I'm not doing this shit. And the supply room was effed up. Like there was nobody
Oh,
there for like year. So I just met up with my first sergeant. He's like, "Hey, welcome to chemical. Here's your supply room. Make it happen." I'm just like, "I'll make it happen." I mean, I knew like we were working together. I would always feel like they were gonna scream at me or they were gonna tell me like, "Oh, you're stupid. You know what you're doing." And and I'll be like, "But wait a minute. Like we're in the same team now. We're not against each other." So that took me a little bit. My first duty station with drill sergeants was very, very stressful. Very stressful.
but he did tell me, "You have a little attitude problem." And I'm like,
And like, let's be real. Let's be real. What do you really learn in AIT? Like, come on. You learn like the basics. I had a supply room and I was in charge of the arms room. I'm like, I
"Oh."
barely qualify with my M16. You want me to be in charge of an arms room? What is your problem? It was intense. And then I think like a month later we had inspection. I'm like, what? Yeah, it was bad. It was very bad.
That shit is funny. I get what you're saying. Those days were so fucking rough when you had inspections September to October, and you had to get rid of everything of the inventory and reorder everything.
And then you have a captain, right? He has
Yeah.
no idea what he signed for. None whatsoever. He has like 20 Humvees. He didn't even know Humvees were missing parts, no emergency kit in there. How many M16s were like broken, were in the shop. Like they didn't know
Yeah. What the fuck?
anything. Yes,
Yes.
yes. They would just
Oh my
sign their
god.
stuff. And I'm just like, guy, you are in charge of this entire property book. Like, what are you
Yep.
talking about? So here I come, along comes Polly, like, I know my shit, quote unquote. I didn't know anything. So I would stay like passing 1700 and I would stay in the supply room, like reading regulations. And okay, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do that? It was stressful, but for sure that really made me like stronger my first year in the military because I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about the supply room. And not to pull my own horn, but that's what I got promoted quickly because I really was like, if I'm gonna be here, I need to take advantage of time. And a lot of people, when they tell me, "Oh, what's your MOS?" Back then, "Oh, I'm a 92
Yeah.
Yankee." Like, you supply, you don't do shit. Try again. When you need something, guess who you're coming to? You're coming to me. Everybody has
Yeah.
to go through me to
Mhm.
clear, to go TDY or whatever. Your list has to be complete. And if you're missing one thing, guess what? It's coming out of your paycheck. You're walking in my supply room, you better be nice. Yep.
As we can see, being in the military, yeah, it's fucking stressful. It's very
Yeah.
male dominant, and it really does suck.
Yeah.
Okay. Karen,
Yes.
was there a moment during your service that actually changed you? A moment where you felt like, okay, I'm not the same person anymore?
Yeah, definitely. So my first duty station, I was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, for Lost in the Woods, what they would call it. I questioned myself every day. I was like, why am I doing this? I mean, I grew up very independently because I come from a single mom. My mom was mom and dad. So I was forced to grow up very, very quickly. So joining the military, it wasn't so much the mental. Once again, it was more the physical. But moving out of my house, moving to another state, living on my own at the age of 19 and doing shit on my own, like, I went through all the emotions and like ripple effects. I learned very quickly, that either the military is going to make you or break you. I did this for a reason. I was judged left and right. I mean, by my family, by my so called friends back home. So when I was in my first duty station, I said, what can I do to take advantage of time? I volunteered to go to Korea. And I always say Korea is a love and hate relationship. Korea is a place where I grew as a woman, but it also broke me. And I think I was tested in so many levels. Either I can just call it a day and just give up, or prove to everybody out there that, you know what, I can do it no matter how many times they try to break me down. So I would definitely say Korea. I was on the other side of the world. I couldn't talk to my parents every day. I was in an all male unit, the only
Mm.
female there as a
Oh, shit.
non-commissioned officer, not getting paid as a non-commissioned officer. It was very tough for me. But it was one of those things that, man, it really made me who I am to this day. Korea was like the best college year of my life. Korea was fun. I love it. I wish I can relive that because as much as I cried, as much as I went through hell and back, it also made me so strong. So definitely being stationed in Korea.
Yeah. Honestly,
Mhm.
military life has ways that change everybody, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in hard ways.
Mhm.
And caring, what kept you mentally strong when things got difficult, though?
To be honest, I have to say myself because, one of the things that made me join the military, I grew up in a broken home. So I was forced to be extra independent. And I was like, damn, okay, I don't qualify for financial aid to go to school. My parents didn't save money for me to go to college. I'm out here on my own struggling, even though the outsiders, my so called friends, are like, oh, she has a good life. She has money, she has a car, she's living it up. What people don't really know is that once you go in those closed doors, you're battling your demons every single day. My passion was to do acting and modeling and dancing. I had to sacrifice and I had to join the military to get out of my house because it was just a constant battle. I mean, I just couldn't do it anymore. Mentally, physically, all of the emotions, I couldn't take it. Just knowing that I had gotten to that point where I was like, nobody's going to come and save you. Like, I would cry myself to sleep every day. I would get
Mm,
sick to my stomach every day. I would even get fever of how miserable I felt. You question yourself, you're like, was this a good choice? Like, did I just throw away like all the other dreams that I had down the drain? But at that moment, that was the only choice I had. And that is why one of the big reasons I joined the military was like, I want to go to school. I want to better myself. I want to get out of like this vicious nuclear cycle that I live in. I need to break it. And I don't care what anybody says about it. I'm going to do it. There would be times that I would cry so bad, I would throw stuff in the floor, bang stuff in the wall, but next thing I know, it was just like, "All right, I'm done, right? I had my crisis, better get up and just keep on going." So nobody really knew, the minute I walked out, they're like, "Oh, she's good, she's happy, she's chipper, she's a baddie." Like, no, bro, you have no idea how fucking broken I am and how miserable I feel every day, but what kept me going was I have to say myself, definitely myself. Yeah.
What is one lesson from the military that you still use every day? Because honestly, military habits die hard. Some are good
Yes.
and some are weird.
I struggle with this every day, and I know, Diana, you can relate, and I'm pretty sure Jess can relate too, because no matter what branch you serve, like, it's just the mindset, I don't believe in dumb excuses. I mean, if I can figure it out, you can figure it out too, and that goes with my daily life, with my daughter, with my husband, with my work. And I struggle with that every day. I still say it to this day. I've been out of the military, what, 20 something years? It's been a long fucking time. And I
Yeah.
still have that military mentality like, you can get shit done. Why are you procrastinating or why you're giving me dumb excuses? Like, I cannot function. It triggers. It's like somebody just turned on the switch and I lose my shit. And because I get into that, non-commissioned officer or sergeant mode, whatever you want to call it, I'm like, no, no, like, no, I don't care. You have to be in a deathbed, and even in a deathbed, if you can raise up your left hand or right hand, you can still manage to do it. And I struggle with this in my civilian work because I work with people that don't have that mentality, and there's where I bump heads all the time. And it's hard. I have to like step back and say, Karen, like, you just have to just chill, take a deep breath. But there's where my patience runs thin. It's just like, I don't understand dumb excuses or why you leave things for the last minute. Like, oh my God, why? Like, there is 24 hours a day. You're allowed to have a shitty day. But let me tell you something. When you get up, you better execute. That's my mentality. You want to break down and you want to cry, you want to feel shitty. Hey, by all means, bro. I do it all the time. But when you wake up or when your feet hit the ground, you better be ready to conquer. Don't do shit halfway. And that's what I've been stuck with that since the military. I tell my husband all day, I'm gonna be this person to the day I die. Even on my
Oh,
funeral,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, nope, nope.
You're late.
Yeah, like, what's up? Like, why are you doing this shit? It really, really fucks with you because as much as you don't want to be that way, it's just like it's in your nature. And I have a 19-year-old. She's seen the rough sides of me. She's been, front and center, and she knows mama don't play. So I blame the military for that one.
Definitely. In my household, Viking always says, like, can't is not an option.
Yeah.
When like the nieces or somebody comes and I can't. He'll stop what he's doing and he's like, show me that you can't because in this house, can't is not a word.
Yeah, yeah,
You
definitely.
can do it.
It's like I've done it all. Like, nope, guarantee. And like I tell my daughter all the time, if I get up and I fix this or I find the solution, you are cooked because you're gonna tell me this can't happen. Oh no, best believe I'm gonna make it happen. So if I can make it
mhm.
happen, there's a
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. What is something civilians completely misunderstand about military life?
Oh, you got it easy. Oh, you got college
Shit.
paid. Oh, you get all these
Mm-mm.
Oh,
benefits. You get free health. Okay, homie. Try about signing your life away, leaving your dreams behind. Okay,
mm,
just telling the military or the government, hey, I'm all yours. You can do whatever you want with me. Doesn't matter what I believe in, what I want to do, what I don't want to do. I'm going to serve this country loud and proud.
mhm,
And people don't know the sacrifices. When you walk out that room, your house, wherever you live at, everybody sees like, a version of yourself that really is not truly who you are. Because once you close those
yeah,
doors, you're going through a mental breakdown, you're crying, you're screaming, all those moments mentally drain you. So when people tell me like, oh, you got education free, I didn't. I pay for that. The military takes
mhm,
money away from that. So when people tell me that, like that just triggers me. I'm just like, man, can I just punch you right now? Like,
yes,
just going to the VA is a
Yeah.
freaking mission and a half. Like, guys, you think that because I have free health, quote unquote, like I am attended like freaking Queen Elizabeth? No, it doesn't work that way. Like, I gotta wait months to see a specialist, I may
mhm,
be
Yeah.
dying, but it's like, oh, just go to the nearest emergency room. And then you gotta deal with civilians who don't even know about the military. People don't understand. Like, no, we don't get
Yep.
shit free. It's like people say, like, you don't get nothing free in this country. Exactly. So you're contradicting yourself. How are you gonna sit here and
mhm,
tell me that because I'm in the military, I get free education? I don't get free shit.
No.
So no, it really pisses me off to the
Oh,
point where I'm
yeah.
just like, don't even talk to me. It's like one of those things that trigger me, like, ugh.
No, I completely agree with that. Your
Mhm.
ass was partying, drinking, while my ass was
Burning shit.
yeah,
How about
shit, yeah,
burning shit? Part
yeah,
of your fucking duty call. You gotta go
yep.
burn shit. It's your time. Yeah, how about that?
mm,
Man, ugh.
It's so much shit that they just don't understand, and the sad reality is that until you live it, you will never understand.
I always say it. I
mhm,
was like, it's an experience that nobody can take away from me, but until you live it yourself, you won't
yeah,
understand.
Yeah, that's why transitioning back to civilian life is, like, fucking hard.
I'm still transitioning and I've been out of the military for 20 something years and I'm just like,
Yep.
what the fuck? But yeah,
yeah,
I don't think you ever
No,
transition.
you don't. Because, people assume that you just take the uniform off and then you just move on. Baby, it's not like that at all. Besides what Karen said, just what do you think is the most frustrating thing for you?
fuck, man, she said, like, everything. Oh, one thing you didn't say, still, as a woman, going to the VA and still, "Oh, you're the veteran?" Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about us,
Yeah,
still.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah, I think that what you said just is true. Like,
yeah,
most of the time, I'll go with my husband, and they assume that he's the veteran. My husband's like, "Nah, we're both veterans,"
yeah, yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like, "Thank you for your service." I got to the point that I didn't know what to say, and then one time my husband said, "Somebody has to do it," and I just keep
yeah,
saying that shit from now. Hey, somebody had to do it
yeah.
because
Yeah,
obviously
because
your little ass.
then comes the worst part. You ready for this one? Ah, but you volunteered to join. Really, motherfucker? So if I didn't join, then guess what? We're gonna all go because eventually, if we didn't have volunteers like ourselves, then the picture would have been totally different. So
Yep.
that triggers me even more. Oh, but like nobody
Yeah.
forced you to join the military. It's like, no, you're right. Nobody did. The difference between you and I is that I have balls and you don't. I went as a female, okay? As a female, that just gives me more balls than any men out there. Men get drafted in other countries, they have to serve
Yep.
2 to 3 years. But as a woman, to wake up one day and said, I'm gonna be a baddie and I'm gonna join the military, nah. Mm-mm. That's why when I talk to female military, I'm like, girl, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if you don't believe in yourself, but you're a badass.
You're right about that because I was telling Jess the other the United States is the only country that lets you volunteer. I have a brother. He's 21. He joined the army. And I always tell him, like, honestly, you would not make it in the time when we went.
Nope.
Honestly. Like, I talk shit back and forth, back and forth. And he'd be like, damn, you're so fucking mean. And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, because I'm training you. So when somebody says something to you, you're not going to cry
Yeah, for
about it.
sure. For sure.
Now he tells me, like, damn, these people are a bunch of little crybabies here. And I was like, and I'm a female and I'm your older sister. That means a lot.
Yeah, this generation is not equipped for what we went through 20 years ago.
Fuck no. Hell no. Now we're going to switch gears because, we
Hmm.
already know the military is hard. But motherhood around the clock must be a fucking bitch. There's no leave form for that. There's no sick days. There's no, hey, can somebody come and take over my shift or anything like that. So, with that being said, Jess wants to actually ask you a question about that.
How did becoming a mother change you? Because I feel like becoming a parent, like, it changed everything with me. The way I thought, the way that I loved so much harder, the way I worried about literally everything. So, how did it change you?
So I became a mom at the age of 22, and then a week later I turned 23 and I had my daughter, which she's everything to me. She's going to be 19 years old. So I feel
Mm.
like like I feel old, right? But then when we go out and it's us two, they're like, "Oh, you guys are sisters." I'm like, "Yes, daddy." I feel like super cool for like 2 seconds. Um Definitely. I became a mom while I was in the military. I was married to an army, her father, which we dated since high school. So I lived both lives. I lived as a military, right? As active duty in army, and I was a military wife. So playing those two roles at the same time has to be one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my entire life. Um Unfortunately, things between her father and I, didn't work. So we didn't last long enough. So it all happened very quickly. I got divorced, and by the time I got divorced, I was getting out of the military. So imagine getting out of the military and going through a divorce. And at the same time, I was going through something very big, which I had to go through bankruptcy. So I was dealing with three things at the same time and trying to lose my shit as a mother of 23 years old. Um, to this day, I think there's where I honestly say, like, that's the point where it was either it broke me or it made me. And my daughter became my world because she was all I got. Her father wasn't really the person I thought that he was going to be as a father, as a supporting, husband back then, as like my anchor, right? The same way that I was for him when he joined, that he went, he did 4 tours in Iraq or whatever. I didn't get that. That was not reciprocated to me. So it was one of those things like when you're in boot camp, like you don't got time to think. Like, let's go. Wipe them tears. There's no time for bitching and complaining. So everything happened so quickly. I became a mom. I was getting out of the military. I had to adjust myself to become civilian. I had to get a job. I had to learn how to be a mother. I had to learn how not to be with her father because, he was deployed all the time. So I had to adjust myself to that. I had to adjust myself mentally to know that he was not going to be there for the birth of our child, which to this day still hurts me because it's something that nobody will understand unless you live it. It's not like he had a choice, but I still say that he could have done better, right? So raising my daughter at the age of 23, I wanted to finish my bachelor's. So I was doing school full time, working full time, becoming a mom full time, and I had to juggle all that shit at the same time, and I don't know how the fuck I did it. I really don't know. Everything changed for me. I mean, I had no limits from when it came to my daughter. Like, I didn't care about anybody else but my daughter. So Karen was put aside. I had to pull my emotions, my frustration, my sadness, what I really wanted in life aside because now I have a little human being that depended on me. What made it a good thing and at the bad thing at the same time wasn't knowing that her father wasn't going to be in her life. Like, I think as a single mom, and when that hits you, it hits you in pieces. That's even more painful because
Yeah.
you're not allowed to break. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to, be weak. You're not allowed to
Yeah.
feel. You're not allowed to do anything. You are only allowed to execute. And that terminology has been stuck with me since the day I joined the military. You got to execute, you got to move, and you got to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So that was that mindset I had with my daughter from day one. I mean, to this day, there's things that I don't remember because it happened so quickly that it was just like I had to make sure that she was good, that she was eating, that she was happy. Who cares about my happiness? I didn't got time for. I never asked questions like, "Hey, Karen, are you happy? Are you good?" No, it was always like,
Yeah.
"No, is my daughter good? Does she have everything?" I always had in my mind that I had to play the father and mother role.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting, you guys. Unfortunately, there's people they've lost their significant other due to war or they're lost in combat. Then you're like, okay, you're mentally prepared for that, right? Like they're gone, they're not there anymore. Like your mindset changes. But I think what makes it even harder as a single parent is when you know that the father figure is there, but they're not there. It's
Yeah.
even more frustrating. And that is something that to this day My daughter's gonna be 19 and I still battle with that shit. So it just forced me to once again execute, mature, put everything aside and just focus on my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. And that's what
Yeah.
made me like, just do what I had to do to survive and make sure that she had
Mhm.
it all.
That's real. And you know the sad part is that sometimes your kids don't recognize all the sacrifice that you actually make.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someday.
That is true. But I do realize that my parents did sacrifice a lot for us and we never able to see it until like later on in life.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's part of growing up, you know? My daughter, I know she appreciates me very much. She grew up with me and I grew up with her. She taught me, I taught her. Like I said it like all the time. I'm so sorry that you had to see my growing pains, that you had to see sides of me that I guarantee you I did not want you to see. But we learned, and she saw some rough patches in my life and I had to just deal with it. So, that's part of the growing pains and being mature and learning shit. I can do this, I cannot do this. So,
Mhm.
You know, that was really pretty what you said because you don't come with an instruction on how to be a great mother or how to be like the person that you need to be for your child. You grow with them and you learn as you go. Once you have two or three kids, then I think it's more of an understanding like, I'm good. I didn't fuck up the first one. But at the same time, knowing that you both only have one child, yeah, it becomes part of your life and you grew up with them, but you
yeah,
also learn to be fantastic mothers that you are. So I want to thank both of you for being great mothers, for being there for your
yeah.
kids because that's really hard too. When you're in the military and you're a single mom, that's really fucking hard to do.
Because it's a choice if you wanna be a good mom or not. And once
Mhm.
again, it's tests that life puts in front of you, like, I'm very grateful for my mom, my mom, she's helped me a lot, and I look up to her in a lot of things, and a lot of things I don't agree with her, and I
Mhm.
make sure that I broke those cycles, right? Because our childhood traumas come back from our parents,
Yep.
Yeah.
Us as parents, they either make us or they break us. They fuck us up or they don't fuck us up. And I
Mhm.
learned that very quickly when I had my daughter. I was like, wait a minute, before I even make one step further, I need to make sure that I don't do the same mistake that my mom did to me. And I have to give myself more credit on that because I know I did a hell of a job making sure that my daughter did not even go half through the shit that I went through growing up. I was like, she can complain that I'm crazy. She can complain that I'm super strict. She can complain about all those sorts of things, and that's fine. I want to hear it. I want her to tell me, like, Mom, you're so freaking annoying. Perfect. I love it. But I don't want to ever hear my daughter say, I have childhood trauma because of the choices
Yeah.
that you made. I was a very unhappy kid because of the choices you made.
Yeah.
And those are choices that us as parents, as adults, we can make or not. So I wanted to make sure that, okay, her father wasn't going to be in the picture. Then guess what? I'm going to be a badass mom. And my
Yeah.
daughter's going to come before anybody. And that was a choice I decided to make because I could have easily gone a different route. Be like, shit, kid, I'm 23. I'm going to be like, roll out. I'm going to live my life. I am going to have fun. But no, I was like, no, because I didn't have that growing up. You get me? Like I had
Yeah.
my mom there, but I didn't have my mom there or my dad.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like she doesn't deserve this. Like she didn't ask to come to this world. I wanted her, you know? So
Mhm.
it's very important, but during that process as a mom, we do lose ourselves. And that's something that it's tough. It's very tough.
You know something, Karen, and I'm gonna tell you this from my heart because my mom was so strict and she did become my best friend eventually. So I could tell you your daughter's gonna benefit, because my mom was always there. Man, my mom was that chismosa ass lady that she was always like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She would walk it,
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, I didn't understand back then why she would do it. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm kind of grateful because she made me the human that I am right now.
Of course.
And
Of
I'm not
course.
that bad. Only a little bit.
I always tell my daughter and my husband, this is like my motto. There's always a reasoning behind my madness.
Yeah. Mhm.
Always. Don't believe that I woke up and said, I'll be a crazy bitch today. No, 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 no. There's a reason. And I'm asking you nicely, just go with the flow and you will understand why. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's all I ask. I don't ask for anything else. I give you everything you want. I'll give you the world. But when I ask you to do something or agree on something with me, just go with the flow. Even if at that moment you're like, she's crazy. Like, what? Trust me. I guarantee you there's a reason behind my madness.
But you know what? I'm dual military, like my husband was, and sometimes he says that, "Damn, bitch, you crazy." I remember one time he told, I think it was his mother, "Yo, you worried about me? Worried about this little 5 foot girl right here. She's the real
Yeah, for
crazy
real.
one."
Yeah.
And I'm looking at myself like, "No,
Mhm.
I'm not crazy. You make me crazy."
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, Jess.
Okay, so while you're struggling to survive, do you feel like you had to be strong for everybody else?
Yes. 100%. 100%. And to this day, I still am. Once again, it all comes back your childhood
Yeah.
trauma. I mean, that shit drags you for the rest of your life. I come from a broken family. My mom and my dad got divorced when I was 4 years old. I don't have vivid memories of them ever kissing or holding hands or doing family outings. I remember in my head vividly fights, police, knives, throwing chairs, liquor, broken doorknobs. Even with my stepdad, I remember him leaving the house with big garbage bags, knives. I mean, that's what I grew up with, right? So that fucks with you. I don't care what psychologist, what therapy you go through,
Yeah.
that's always gonna be in your hard drive. I call it your hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a choice that you make if you wanna keep on dragging it for the rest of your life. Trust me, that's not something I wanted to drag into becoming a mother. I had to be strong for my mom. I had to be strong for my dad to this day because they don't remember the fucked up shit that they did, you know? In their eyes, they're like, "Oh, I brought you up. Well, yeah, mom, you fucking did, but guess what? You put me through hell." Like, I went through shit that I didn't deserve to go through. Like, why did I have to go through seeing you fighting with some dude and like liquor and shit? Like, I didn't ask for that. So with my dad, the same thing. My dad's 87 years old now. He's old. So like there's no point in like fighting with an old man about what he did fucking
Yeah.
30 years ago. And his eyes like, oh, I brought you up well, like I was there for you. I was like, no, you weren't. You were not there for me, Bob. You were not there for me. And all that drains you. Coming from a family, my mom's side of the family is all fucked up. Like, I'm just like, bro, what is this? And as much as I didn't want to be part of it, like I was dragged into it. So it's like, oh, you don't want this part of your life, but you're gonna be stuck with it. So I had to go through family issues that didn't belong to me. Like, why? Why? I don't think Diana, you know this, but I have a half brother from my mom's side.
Wait, you from your mom's side?
Yes, yes, and I don't talk about him as much because he totally destroyed me when I was in the military. I went bankruptcy because of him. From my dad's
Yeah.
side of the family, half brother who I don't talk to, and like he doesn't talk to my dad anymore, and like all this drama that you're like, why do I have to deal with it?
Yeah.
Well, it's things that you have to suck up, and as much as you don't want it to affect you, you're like, fuck, like what am I supposed to do? So adding all that and being a mother and trying to be sane,
Yeah.
trying to be a civilian and trying to keep your shit together. And then,
Mm.
and to top it off, my biggest challenge was knowing that my daughter had a father, but he was never there and trying to force him to be a father. That's even more drainful. So, yeah, it's exhausting as fuck.
I do tell Jess all the time, I care to the point where if you don't pay my bills, you don't pay my food, you don't pay my electricity, your opinion is just your opinion to whatever's
Right.
happening.
Right.
Whatever happens outside of my household, I will listen to you, but I can't let it affect me as much,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
hmm
So, you did talk about sacrifices and stuff like that, but what is the one sacrifice that you made as a mother?
I would have to say my dream.
Yeah.
I always wanted to become an actress. I went to school. So I have a bachelor's in mass communication, which is, TV production and the whole shebang. And Diana, I did a little bit of modeling and acting right when I met you. And even doing that, I had to sacrifice because, not everything is pretty as you see it. And joining the military was a big sacrifice. I never wanted to join the military. The military was my way out to get out of this toxic family trauma. So becoming a mom at such an early age and not knowing that, I wasn't going to have a family, right? Something that I never grew up with and knowing that my daughter wasn't going to have it either. I think that's where the pain really got even more intense. But once again, I wasn't allowed to feel. I wasn't allowed to feel how I truly felt. So I had to sacrifice what truly made Karen happy. Dancing, fulfilling her dreams, going into the production field, being part of like a cast or a TV production or a film. Like that was always my thing. I'm just like, damn, I miss it. So definitely has to be that, you know?
Damn, girl, I didn't know you went through all this stuff. I know we were good friends, but shit, obviously I was a shitty friend back in the day
No, no, no.
because
You're
I
not a
didn't
shitty
know.
friend. You're not a shitty friend. The thing is that when we went to the military, you went to a different duty station. You went to Texas. We parted ways, and girl,
Yeah.
my life did a 360. Like, I wasn't even ready for the stuff that was gonna happen to me while being in the military.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you that my military career was fucking fantastic. But
Mm,
if it wasn't for Karen, I would have never met my husband.
yeah.
I would have never met him. So I said the only thing that came out of great, fantastic about the military was my little Viking. Being a mom definitely is a very hard thing to do. I seen your daughter since she was a baby, and then I saw
Yep.
her again at her like seventh birthday, and then
Yeah.
wow, she graduated, and it's kind of like, damn, all these things are happening, and it's so wonderful, but you don't see the back ends of everything. You had to be strong, resilient. You had to be independent for your mom. Nobody really looks behind the closed doors of everything that you did.
Mhm.
So even the people imagine that you're just this perfect person and that you show strength and that people see a clip of you or your business or whatever is it that you're doing, they only see part of you. They don't see the whole view of like what it is. Like who do you want people to see? Who do you want to become as a person?
As a person, I know for a fact I need to work more on myself and
Yeah.
giving myself credit because, like I had mentioned at the beginning, I did everything so fast paced. My life sprinted. I mean, it happens so fast that when I have my breakdowns, right? Like when I go through my depression or into my anxiety, I lose my shit. And I'm just like, but why? Like, you got this, right? Like, you've been trained your entire life to handle things, to make things happen. But I don't think that's a big picture. I think the big picture is that I am allowed to break down. I am allowed
Yes.
to feel like shit. And I am allowed to take all those bits and pieces that I was not allowed to do when I first was thrown with the wolves,
Yeah.
becoming a mom, getting out of the military, being an army wife. Like that whole topic, army wife, that is tough. And then getting out and becoming a civilian while being a mom, even harder. So I think that the Karen that I am trying, right? Because it's hard. There's days in where I'm just like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, fuck everybody. Like, leave me alone. There's
Yeah.
days when I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna conquer the world. I'm a badass. Let me get my hair done. Let me do my face. Remember, I have a mini me who's looking at me. She's observing everything.
Yeah.
So even that has stopped me from like melting down. Like, oh no, no, you can't cry. Nope, nope. Nope. You gotta be a badass
Mhm.
because I don't want my daughter to be like, oh, she's always breaking down. She's always crying. She's always miserable.
Yeah.
So, but I do have to say that it's okay, right? It's okay to
Yeah.
have like days where you're just like, fuck, man, you've been through hell and back, and you're still
Mm.
standing. Like, give yourself some credit. And I will say this, my husband, he's that person where he's like, you don't know how amazing you are and what a badass you are. And even when he tells me that, I'm just like, shut up. Like, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about because I don't believe it. So that's something that I have to work on every day. And I think in general, us women, and everybody that has gone through, whether it's been, going to war, whether it's been a childhood trauma, whether it's been becoming a parent and becoming a single parent, whatever the case may be, just accepting that you went through all these changes and these struggles, that you can still manage to be strong, but at the same time you can be weak. We go through so much shit and we keep on going.
Going through the past trauma in the military, how do you protect your peace?
I did protect my peace by leaving where I grew up. I had to
Mhm.
leave the stuff that I couldn't control. I sacrificed that. I met my husband, and one of the first conversations I had with him, I go, listen, I'm already at a time in my life where I am not for bullshit. I have a daughter I got to finish raising. I've been doing it on my own for the last 10 years. I'm mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. So I want to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, let's go. Let's roll out. And I was just like, when do we get married? What do we got to do? Because you just said the $1 million answer that I've been wanting to listen for the entire life of mine.
Yeah.
So I left, and I can say that that's how I started protecting my peace. What I need to work on is not allowing for those things in my past to continue trying to like poke me, right? And if they poke
Yeah.
me, I can just easily say like, nah. You're
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing to me. It still affects me because unfortunately, once again, it's a family thing. As much as I wanna, like, there's just certain things that I just can't just, like, let go, you know? And unfortunately, it involves my mom. Like, my mom is my weakness. Like,
Yeah.
she's everything to me, right? But she comes with a lot of fucking baggage. If I have not been a perfect wife, I haven't been a perfect friend, I know I am a fucking amazing mother because that is one thing that I assure that I have not allowed for my daughter to experience because it's such an ugly feeling, man. It is so exhausting trying to carry other people's shit in your back as much as you don't want to. It is draining as hell. And you can, play it all nice and shit, but there's days you're just like, bro, like, that's it. I can't no more. Like, I can't breathe. And it's not even your problem. It's your parents, it's your mom, it's your dad. They're like, what do you say? F my mom? Like, I can't say that. As much as I want to say
Mhm.
F my dad for not being there for me, like, he's old as fuck. What am I going to do? It's hard, man. It's hard to just like deal with that part. But am I at peace in a lot of aspects in my life? Fuck yeah, I am. I am.
Yeah.
But I still have baggage from my family. I'm just like,
Oh, for me, as I got older, my mom became my child.
oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We can talk about that all day long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, forget it. But it's a cycle of life. You know that, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Oh,
end up
yeah.
you're the one that's gonna take care of your mom and do all that shit because then if you
Yeah.
don't do it, who's gonna do it? She was the one that did it for you. So, like, at the end of the day, it's your turn. You know what I mean? But it's like, fuck, bro. Like, I'm not done. Now I gotta take care of my mom. Like, she's my mom?
I get what you're saying as far as my mom deals with me. I'm like her friend, I'm her
Yep.
caregiver, and I'm far away. So I do all this for her. And there's days that I'm just not going to be upbeat. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah, I feel
I
you.
can't do it all.
Yeah. And you know what's even more ironic on my end? You ready for this one? My stepdad, he's been an asshole my entire life. And guess who helps him? Guess who pays his bills? Who does all
Ugh.
this? Me. Me. And he's never been a father role for me. My stepdad has been
Yeah.
a straight up asshole because that's what he taught me. He taught me how to treat my mom bad, how to drink, how to be an alcoholic. That's what he brought me up. So it's like at the end of the day, everybody's like, "Oh, your stepdad is so cool." Yeah, he's great. He's fucking amazing. But nobody knows behind doors what I went through. You see what I'm saying? Like I had mentioned earlier, I have a half brother. I didn't grow up with him. I met him when he was like 15. He fucking came to this country, destroyed himself. The little memories that I remember, he was a fucking disaster. I don't know, he just hated me because I came after when my mom came to this country. Like, it's not my fault that my mom met my dad and should have me. But I mean, it was hell to the point that my
Yeah.
my brother destroyed my credit, you guys. Like, that is another topic we can fucking talk about
Mm.
for hours. One of the reasons why I got out of the military was because of that. I sacrificed years of being in the military and then I had to fucking throw it away because I had a sibling who just hated me for no reason and did his job to destroy me. I protect my peace by saying, that's your son. You hang out with him, do your thing, but don't involve me in it. And nonetheless, involve my daughter in it because I don't need that toxic relationship. But it's tough because at the end of the day, that's my mom, and I cannot tell her, you can't see your son. Like, the fuck am I? But what I can tell her is, don't involve me, nothing that regards to your son. He's nothing to me, and he's nonetheless nothing to my daughter because I protect my daughter at all costs? And that's where it's dreadful and it's exhausting because as much as you don't want to deal with it, the topic is going to come up. Or like, oh, I went to so and so's house, and I'm just like, I cringe. I'm like, great, like, good for you. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, oh, yay, you went to go see your son. Fucking amazing.
What do you want your daughter to remember?
Okay, I'm gonna try not to cry on this one because when it comes to my daughter, it's a very, very touchy subject. And I think it's because I've been through so much with her. I want my daughter to remember me as someone that never gave up. As much as things got hard for me and as much as she saw with her own eyes, seeing her mom struggle, trying to make everything look picture perfect and happy, right? Because that's what moms do. They want to make sure that their kids are happy and they're healthy. I think that's the main two things. As long as my kid is happy, I don't care about anything else. I've never heard a mother say otherwise. So definitely someone that never gave up, and that's someone that never stopped her from pursuing her dreams.
Mm.
That is a big one
Yeah.
for me. I always tell her, don't ever, ever question if I'm going to like the idea. What do you think about it? Should I do it? No. You can tell me your dreams, but because you already made your choice. but don't ask me for my opinion on it because I'm going to go back and say, is that really what you want to do? Because one of the things that I didn't pursue my dreams is because I never had the full support of my parents. And that
Yeah.
really
Mm,
sucks. So
yeah,
with my daughter, I always tell her, if it doesn't work out, you can always come back home. If it doesn't work out, you can always start from scratch. You're young. I want you
yeah,
to experience. I want you to travel. I want you to meet people. I want you to fuck up, but you know that when you fuck up, you are aware that you fucked up and you're going to get back up and you're going to go back at it again. So I would
yeah.
say it's definitely those two things, and then it's okay to have, days where you don't feel yourself. You shouldn't hide it. Like, it's okay to feel like, I don't want to do this shit today. All right, cool. You don't want to do it? Don't do it. You don't want to talk to anybody? Don't talk to anybody. But like I said at the beginning, but when you're ready, when you've washed your face, when you've taken a shower, and you've done your hair, and you're ready to conquer the world, you better fucking go hard. Go hard.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because if you're going to go half, then get back and turn around. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Just make sure that when you're ready, you're ready. And those are things that I want my daughter to remember, for sure.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
All right. Now we're getting into the real stuff because all jokes aside, around here we laugh, we roast each other, we act like everything's okay, but sometimes the strongest people are carrying things nobody really sees. So, Karen, I want to ask you something deeper. What is
Mhm.
something you've survived that people don't know about you? Take your time, like really think about it.
To this day, it still affects me. The fact that my daughter's dad is not a father. He was in the army. So he served for 8 years. He did 4 tours in Iraq and he was very lucky. He came back
Mm,
and I'm pretty sure he saw some crazy shit out there. He even lost his best friend like 2 months before coming from his last deployment.
mm,
I went through hells and back with him, right? I was there for him through thick and thin. And in my mind, I thought that, I grew up with not having a dad. Like my dad was never
Yeah.
there. So I'm just like, I don't want this for my daughter. I always think like, okay, if a marriage doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? It's fine. It doesn't work. But why divorce your kid? That's
yeah.
something that I'm never going to understand. And that's exactly what Brianna's dad did. And in his eyes, he may see it differently because, there's always two sides of the story. To me, it's a very touchy subject because I didn't grow up with a dad and my dad remarried. He has another son, which he's the one that I'm the closest with.
Yeah.
I'm like the older sister. So like I do my part and I'll call and like, hey, what's up? But it's not like we're like super tight because we didn't grow up together, right?
Yeah.
But I have to be the bigger person. I have to do what my other brothers didn't do to me. They never looked for me. One of them fucked me over. The other one doesn't talk to me. So I'm just like, not my fault, but let me be the bigger person. And hey, even if I don't see you every day, I'm a phone call away. If you ever need me, I'm here. Right. My daughter's going through that right now. Like he remarried, he has another kid, and he is doing everything with that other kid that he didn't do with my
Mm,
daughter. And that
no.
hurts, guys. That
Oh,
hurts
yeah.
Yeah,
so much because I always say this, my daughter's not perfect. There's no perfect kid, but she's a good kid. She does well in school. She helps me out on the business. She's never given me problems. She's smart. She's wise. She's independent. And as a dad, I would be like with my chest out, like, fuck, that's my kid. Like, I wasn't there for her the
mhm,
first 4 years of my life due to the military. Let's blame it on the military, right? So, what am I going to do as a father? I'm going to be present every single day of my life.
yeah,
It's as
Yeah.
easy as it gets. So, knowing that I've dealt with that pain for 15 years now, and I'm still not over it, I've done therapy, I've spoken to other people, and I told myself it's not your fault. It's not something that you can
It's not.
control. You can't force a man to be a father, but it's not equipped in my head to understand how someone can go to sleep at night and not talk to their kid every day. It doesn't click with me that you have a good kid and that you still question her abilities.
mm,
It doesn't click to me. And like I've
mm,
been through it all, but this, you want to break me down? Let's talk about this because it's my daughter. You're talking about my daughter, someone that deserves to have a present father, someone that deserves to have a father love. Whether it's not every day, but hey, I'm here for you. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And in his
mhm,
eyes, it's like, oh, I was never a bad father because I provided for child support.
That's not everything. Yeah.
Guy, let's be real. Child support money is your responsibility. That doesn't make you a good father. A
No.
good
yeah,
father is someone that is present, and you're not present. So to
yeah,
me, it's like it's hard to comprehend that. I know this person since he was 14, 15. We grew up together, went into the military. He's a professional. He works for the government now. He does well for himself.
Yeah.
Why are you not sharing that with your pride and joy? That's something that I battle with every day of my life.
So we got into the good stuff. How about, have you ever had a moment where you hit your breaking point?
Yes. Yes, very much. I would say when I found out that he was getting married
Oh, it must have been hard for you.
and I had to allow my daughter to walk the wedding. That was the breaking point to me. I lost my shit to the point that I ended up in the hospital and everything. And that's when I first discovered that I was suffering from panic attacks. It was really bad because she is a person who was in my friend group,
Mm,
who went to my baby shower, who knew my life, who knew my life with me and her dad. So knowing the fact that I was never properly communicated, like, this is a person that I'm dating, this is a person that's gonna be in your daughter's life, there was never that. And I always question because I hear like horror stories of like moms and like stepmoms that are just real bitches and like they make life living hell and they're horrible or they're really bad to the ex-husbands and like they create drama. And in my mind, I'm just like, how can you do that? Like, why would you want to do that? Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have the courage to make her dad's life miserable. And now that I know all this shit, I was like, damn, I wish I should have done it. I was so fucking naive. Why was I so stupid? So when I found out that he was getting married, that's when he took me to lower my child support because he flat out told me that he needed money for his wedding. And that's where I lost my shit. I was like, no, no, we're not doing this. And that's when I started having like my real, I would say like emotional
Yeah.
problems. Everything just started bothering me. I couldn't handle anything. I couldn't handle work. I couldn't handle even being a mom. I couldn't handle it all. Like, that's where I was just like, I'm done. Like, here are my sneakers. I'm not putting them on anymore. You guys can do everything else. Like, I shut down completely. It wasn't even the pain that he was getting married, it was who he was getting married to, number one.
Oh,
Number two, he got married the same date as my marriage with him.
wait,
Crazy.
what?
Yeah, crazy shit, right? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So I was just like, why would you wanna do that? Like, I wouldn't even wanna get married the same month, nonetheless the same date. So there's where my mind started playing tricks on me. I was like, okay, this bitch is crazy. Like, she either wants to be me or he just doesn't know what the fuck he's getting himself into. And then I started questioning, this is what my daughter's gonna have to deal with? I don't wanna put her through that. Like, she doesn't
Yeah.
deserve this. So I tried at all costs for her not to do it, but then I would fight with my own demons, be like, damn, but you're gonna allow her not to be with her father? So it was a battle that I dealt with every single day. And
Yeah.
then when I found out that she was gonna be the flower girl, I was just like, bro, what do I do? Like, do I be this conniving bitch and say, no, she's not walking your wedding? Fuck you. Or do I say, you know what, put my pride aside and just let it go? But it wasn't even the pride, it was the hurt. It was a hurt
Yeah.
that we didn't even get married like that. You didn't give
Yeah.
me half of the shit that you gave this fucking bitch, but you're giving it to her? So to me, I was like, what did I do wrong? Like, so there's where my second guessing, my low self esteem starts coming in. It was just bad, yo. When I tell you it was bad, it was bad. And then you have a mom that's from Ecuador that doesn't believe in that shit. Like, that's all mental. Like, why are you crying? Like, suck it up.
Yeah.
So who do I express my emotions with? So that hit me really, really, really hard. Really hard. And the fact that he took me to court to lower my child support, I was like, "Are you stupid? Like, the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Okay, sure. That's how we're gonna roll. Let's do this, boo." So there's where everything just got ugly. When like a year before that, even though we got divorced, our relationship was great. Diana, our relationship was great. We had no beef. We had no problems. Everything was good. But along came fucking Ursula, because that's what I named her, fucking Ursula. She played her cards right. I mean, she did a fucking fantastic job. And if I ever have to see her, I'm gonna tell her, bro, you fucking win the Oscar. So, I felt powerless. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I wasn't aggressive as I should have been. And I was just tired. I said, you know what? You won.
That hurts not only as a woman, but you felt betrayed also because you knew
Oh,
the
of
person.
course. Of
And
course. She
that
went to my
hurts the
baby
most.
shower. She went to my baby shower. Like, I know there's nothing that's really, like, legit as a girl code, but bitch, there's a
No,
girl
there is
code.
girl code. There's a girl code, definitely girl
Like,
code.
and I even told him, I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Out of the fucking females, and you gotta go with her? Come
Mm,
on, girl." And I had to deal with that.
I would've gone crazy.
And I don't know if Jess can agree with this because, you've been married, so I think the most hurtful pain as a woman is not the fact that you go through a divorce or the man treats you like shit.
No.
No, 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 no. What hurts most is that you don't get respect from your ex-husband as the mother of your kid. That's
Mm,
what hurts the most.
Mhm.
Because you don't
yep.
wanna be with me? That's fine. You're not forced to be with whoever you don't wanna be. You are
Yeah.
free. You can choose whoever you wanna be. You wake up one day and say, "Listen, I don't wanna be with you no more." Hey, power to you, bro. I want you to be straight up. But the
Yep.
fact that you never respected me as a mother of your child, that you should have put
Mhm.
me at the fucking altar because not only was I a great mother to your child, but I was a great ex-wife. I never gave you problems. I never disrespected you. I never put you through the hole. Never. And you still treat me like this. And now it's not even me anymore. Now you're taking it on your daughter. That's where I have a problem. That's where I lose my shit. And once again, military style, I don't believe in excuses. I don't believe it. Fuck you.
No.
You're just a miserable fucking person. Period.
Mhm.
I just don't know where to begin, like, damn it, I don't think I've ever broke that girl code.
You don't. You
Yeah.
don't.
Like, I can't believe that she was your friend and that she did that.
Dana, I'll show you pictures. We have pictures together from grand night, fucking high school. You want to call it miserable? Yes, bro. That's how fucking miserable I am. Okay. Like, if you're some random girl that I don't know who the fuck you were, but you knew my life, you knew my life. I always say it's like a mystery because she appeared out of nowhere. Because she wasn't a friend that we continued being friends after high school. Does that make sense? Like, I come to find out when he picks her up for a Disney trip that I planned, by the way. I fucking planned. I helped him get his rent a car. I helped him get fucking tickets to go to Disney, everything. And that bitch gets out of the car, and that's how I find out. I'm like, the fuck? What is she doing here?
Oh.
Yes, girl, that was my introduction.
Oh,
That was my
man.
introduction to it all.
Me
So imagine
uh,
I'm already fucked up in my head, right? Because I'm already a
Yeah.
mess. And then I gotta deal with this shit. Girl, I'm telling you, bro, I don't write a book because I hate writing. But I guarantee if I write a book, I'ma fucking make millions, millions with the shit that I've been through.
Shit, touche. Damn.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, I lost it. That was the worst. Fuck, that was horrible. And I was dating a guy that I thought that was the love of my life. I dated him for 3 years. He had 2 kids. And look how life plays some fucked up shit on you. And God really does test you. This
Yeah.
guy was such an amazing father that to me, it became sickening. I was like, you're exaggerating. It's like, you'll be fine. He would cry because the mother was a bitch. The mother put him through hell.
Mm.
The mother
uh-huh.
wouldn't allow to see his kids. The mother would exchange kids in a parking lot. The mother wouldn't even take clothes, like would drop him off with like nastiest shoes. She was a real bitch. And I never understood that because I would never, ever do that to her dad. Ever. Here's her outfits, her little bows,
Yeah.
everything. But this, I went through extremes and he would cry because he would call, like, I don't know, the deadline to speak to his kids was like 8:30 at night. And he would call like at 8:35. The bitch wouldn't answer. She wouldn't answer. And he would cry. He's like, I need to say goodnight to my kids. And I'm like, dude, like, you're fine. You spoke to him 2 days ago. You don't understand. And I'm like, you're right. I don't understand because I have a piece of shit father that doesn't give a fuck if he talks to his kid or not. It was like a test that I would live through every day. Like, it was just like,
Yeah.
girl, how do you deal with this shit? So yeah, imagine dealing with those two scenarios every day of my life. No, it was chaotic.
Yeah.
Fucking, it was chaotic. That's when people tell me like, "Oh, I've been through some stuff." Like, no, you haven't, bro. Mhm.
Mhm. That's fucking tough, man. I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. No, I went through a lot. He put me through hell and back, man.
Damn, you know what? People really throw that shit word around strong, bitch. You were strong. Strong
Yeah,
woman, strong mom, a veteran, and definitely a strong person. Now I want to ask you, what does being strong actually mean to you? Because you've gone through so much shit, and being strong means different things for everybody. And not necessarily like you're damn strong, like physically, mentally,
yeah.
that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing. What do you think?
I would say it's like an everyday pill you gotta swallow. If you can't function your day without knowing that there's gonna be shit thrown at you and you're not mentally prepared for it, The physical part, you're gonna be dreadful, but mentally, if you're not mentally prepared for that, you're in it for a big wake up call. And I think that's all I know how to do. I know that I have to show up. I know I have to be there for my kid because if I'm not there for her, then who else will be? You know, that's been my goal ever since day one. She's everything to me. It's not that I'm asking for anything in return, but I'm very grateful that she sees that and that she's a good kid and that she understands, like, not to bash her father, but she knows she's a woman. She knows a difference now. I'm done sugarcoating. Like, at the end of the day, he doesn't want to be part of your life. So you have to live with that. And maybe tomorrow you guys cross paths, and that's a choice that you're going to have to make, whether you want to deal with
Yeah.
it or not. And the day you do decide with it, I am equipping you, I am preparing you mentally and emotionally to take it how you're supposed to take it. If it's a moment where you want to break down and cry and tell them you're a piece of shit, then fucking go for it. Or if it's a day that you're so mature that it doesn't hurt you anymore and you're just like, Dad, you know what? I'm too old for this shit. Go on, carry on your life. By all means. I just know that I'm gonna be right next to you no matter what, because that is what I have been doing since day one, and it's not gonna stop me. You understand? Like, my husband knows that. She's always gonna be my number one, and I'm always gonna choose my daughter over anybody and anything. It's fucking tiring, bro. It's tiring.
I mean, kids should be number one. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how old your kid is always going to be part of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay. So my question is, do you think veterans get enough emotional support after service?
Fuck no. No. First of all, when you get out of the military, they don't fucking tell you how fucked up mentally you're gonna be from transitioning from a soldier to a fucking civilian.
Yep.
Period. That right there, that is like an emotional wreck. Like, that's bullshit that you come out with a guaranteed job and that's bullshit. You get your fucking DD 214, bye, senora, or see you later, alligator. That is it. And that is something that not a lot of people are aware of.
Yep.
So it's like we go through it when we're out of the military, not just in the military. No, no, no. Now this is a different battle that we got to deal with. Trying to blend in and trying to do something that you were maybe 20 years ago. And you're like questioning yourself, damn, do I really want to do this or I don't? That's why a lot of military, when they get out before the 20 years, what do? They go into the fucking police academy or they go to firefighter or they go
Yeah.
back in because, like, fuck this. I'm not doing this shit. Because you know what? The military, they do everything for you, right? You don't really got to do anything in the military. So you're trained for that. You're like, okay, yeah, the military, they pay me. I get paid every 2 weeks or whatever. If I got to move, I get promoted. I just go in front of the board. I do this, I do that. I get my job. I'm like, everything is like, it's done. So when you go out here, you're like, what are you doing now?
Yep. That's so fucking true, man.
Then you got to deal with civilians that don't know shit about what you just went through as a fucking military. So then you can't even talk to someone because they may be like, oh, really? No shit. That's what you went through? Fuck, man, that sucks. And I'm sorry, but that boils my blood. Like, I need someone to be like, girl, I got you. And you speak my same lingo so I can be in the same like mood and talk to you. But you don't get that, especially if you don't live like in a military surroundings. You're fucked. Like, you get depressed straight up because who is gonna understand that you were in Iraq for 15 months and then you fucking went for deployment again for another year and you just did infantry for fucking 8 years of your life, example.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you got bullied because you're in a fucking all male military base by a non commissioned officer, like, oh, you're gonna listen to me because I'm higher ranking and you're gonna do everything I say.
Yep.
I can go on and on and on about this topic. Who the fuck are you gonna talk to about that when you get out in the civilian world? The fucking VA?
That,
Mhm.
The fuck out
no.
of here.
Shit, the half of the fucking doctors don't even know what a 5-ton or a Humvee is, and you gotta sit
Right.
there and explain to them. That shit makes me so mad and fucking so pissed off when I have to explain myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why am I even explaining to you? Like, can we just move on to the next subject because you're fucking annoying.
Yep, I get
I
it.
know. I know.
Okay, now that we've gotten through the heavy stuff, we talked about military life, motherhood, struggle, survival mode. Now I want to talk about healing, because surviving something and healing are two completely different things.
Yeah.
So, Diana?
If another mom was listening to right now and feeling like I can't do this anymore, what would you tell her, Karen?
That it's okay to think that way. There's nothing wrong with thinking that way. I say this often, it's valid to feel like you can't handle it anymore or you just don't want to do it anymore. It would be concerning if those words don't come out of a mom's mouth. Because if a mom tells me everything is perfect, that's bullshit. You're hiding. You're hiding something you don't want to say. You're afraid of saying it. You're afraid of being judged. I think that on the contrary, us women, that's how we support each other, more and more. It's about being transparent and saying, what, motherhood sucks. It's a bitch. It's hard, it's
Yeah.
challenging. And there's times where I'm just like, can someone else just do this and take it over? Like, I'm done being a mom today. Like, I want to clock out at 5 o'clock and not deal with this motherfucker until the next day. Like, if a mom is not talking like that, then she's bullshitting. And I believe that I hate this saying, but I have to say it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I fucking hate that saying because it's so cliche and cringy at the same time. But it's true, like I would have never thought I was going to see myself, this day, owning a business, raising a 19-year-old that I'm very proud of, having an amazing husband who has supported me through the most darkest and ugliest parts of my life, which
Yeah.
that's a man's choice. A man can easily pick up and say, "Deuces, I'm out. Like, I don't need this. Like, you're too much for me. You're crazy as fuck, and I'm out." Right? Being able to show all these ups and downs and these struggles to my daughter and showing her that it's okay to be weak and it's okay to be strong at the same time. Those are just emotions. It's like the sound, of anything, of life. That's just how life is. So, and definitely I wish we can be like more open about this, right, as women. But if you feel that way, it's always good to like let it out. You have to let it out. Even if you don't have someone, like write about it, speak about it on the phone, because building that shit up for such a long time, at the end of the day, you're only affecting yourself. And it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah, I always tell Jess, like, sometimes I don't have anybody to talk to, so I just write it on a piece of paper and I burn it and just let it burn.
Yeah, I do voice notes. That's what I do. I remember I used to do a lot of those when my daughter would go to sleep. I listened to them like, damn, I was really fucked up back then. Because it would just be hours and hours of talking, or I'll write poems and things like that. Because I'm like, who am I gonna speak to? Like my mom doesn't understand. So yeah, definitely that. It's okay.
So what advice would you give women that are getting ready to join the military? If your daughter were to be the one that tells you, "Hey, I'm gonna join the military," what would you tell her she's gonna get ready for?
I would support her all the way. I would tell her, do it, but do it in the ways that I didn't do it. And definitely be mentally prepared that it's gonna be not pretty. It could be a nice experience. I compare the military to everyday life. The only difference is you're wearing a uniform. That's it. And learn how to take advantage of it. If you're gonna go to the military and waste time and just eat shit, then don't fucking do it. If you're gonna go to the military because you wanna be someone, out there, and you're gonna do your 20 years and come out with your degrees and your experience, remember, none of that shit, nobody can take it away from you. Nobody.
Yep.
And not a lot of women can say, I was in the military, bitch. What were you doing? Fuck, that's value. So if someone's ready to go to the military, educate yourself and make sure that you're going with like that mindset of, okay, I'm gonna do this because I wanna, I don't know, perfect my career, or I wanna do school, I wanna get my master's. So by the time you do get out and do 6 years or 20 years for the long run, it was worth your sacrifice. Because even in the civilian world, you can work for a corporate officer for 20 years and then 18 years they can fire you. What the fuck did you do with it? Nothing. You were nothing. But in the military, even if you did 3 years, bitch, you served your country. Period. Nobody can tell you otherwise. Nobody. Whether you're a cook, whether you're a supply, whether you're infantry, listen, I was in the army. I was in the Marines. I was in the Air Force. What the fuck did you do? Do you see what I mean? The value is just to another level. Oh yeah, I worked 25 years for FedEx, or I worked 25 years for the post office. Okay, cool. Good for you. But I served 8 years in the military. I did 3 years in Iraq. I did 3 tours. I went to fucking Afghanistan. I went through fucking Korea. I went to Japan. I served with all sorts of different type of people. I met some crazy motherfuckers, and to this day, those motherfuckers that I met, I know they got my back. My real friends are the ones that were in the military. Those are the real ones, and I have not seen them for years, including you, Diana. You know that. We talk, and it's like, "Hey, D, what's up?" But I know, like, we're gonna show up. I always tell my coworkers, I'm like, in the military, you may hate the bitch. You may hate this hoe. You can't stand her, but I got your back. And I'm gonna tell you in your face, I can't stand you. I fucking can't stand you. You're a pain in my ass. But if we go to war together, I got you, boo. You ain't dying in my clock. You're gonna be with me, and I got you. Out here,
Mhm.
good
Good
luck.
luck. I say that in the podcast a lot too. I always say, like, those are your battle buddies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. So, I'm going to ask you, what does healing look like for you today?
Cutting out a lot of people of my life. Definitely best friends, people that I've known for years that I've come to realize they're not there for my best intention. They're there to drain my energy.
Yep.
And as much
Yeah.
as it hurts me because, I'm very giving and I don't like to hurt people's feelings, but I've learned that no, no, I'm done making believe that this person is good for me when this person is just taking everything away. The little bit that I have, the little piece that I have that I've been able to get, you're taking it away from me. So I need to cut it. I need to stop and I need to let you go. As much as it hurts me, I need to let you go. I definitely cut a lot of people out of my life. And it works out because when they don't fight back, that's your answer.
Yeah, that is true. I agree with that. I think I've cut a lot of people. And
Mhm.
sometimes you walk away from people just because you're dealing with your own shit and they
Right.
don't understand. So when
Yeah.
you try to explain it, they make it all about them.
Yes, that happened to a best friend of mine that she's known me since I was 13 and I thought she was there for me. I needed you. You gave me your back. I was drowning in the ocean, bitch. I was drowning. And all I needed was like, I'm coming. I'm going to you. That's all I needed because I'm there for everybody else. Why
Yeah.
is it that when I need it, no one's there? Like, why? And that's something that I don't comprehend. So if that person's not going to do that for me in the hardest times, why do I need you?
Mhm.
I've said it before. I think I'm the annoying friend where I might not go to you because I live far away, but I will fucking text you and make sure you're okay, even if you don't answer.
And if I don't answer, it's just because I'm in my days, not because I don't want to talk to you. I'm pretty sure we can all relate. There's days where I'm just like, fuck, bro. Like, I don't even want to talk to my husband. Like, you good? Did you eat? Did you eat? Because I didn't even cook today. It's like, no, babe, it's good. Good, bro. Yeah, like this is why we're still together because you get my drift. Because if I would have had another type of husband, like, oh, you didn't cook? No, I didn't cook. I woke up ugly today. I didn't sleep for shit. You gave me all your snoring last night. I hate people today. I hate my job. So no, motherfucker, I am not cooking. Bye.
Yeah.
Period.
That is true. It's just like what I tell Jess all the time. It's like a sisterhood in the
Right.
military, like veteran. By just sending you a damn meme that says like, "Hey, bitch, I thought about you." You already
Yeah.
know. You don't have to answer anything.
You're thinking about me. You're thinking about
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It's just like, hey, like, you know what? I hope you're good. You hit me with the
Right.
heart. Hey, bitch, I know you're alive. That's all I need sometimes.
Send me a smoke signal. That's all. Yeah.
All right, Jess.
So, out of everything that you've gone through, everything you survived, what is something that you're most proud of?
Getting my master's and saying I'm a fucking combat vet of the military. Like, I went through hell and back, but I'm a vet. I served my country. I mean, my own family wanted to take that power away from me. They did because I didn't finish. I would have loved to finish. I'm not the religious type. If I don't go to church every day, but I do believe that there's a reason for everything. I didn't do 20 years in the military, not because I didn't want to, but because it just wasn't on the cards for me.
Mhm.
But I know that if I would have done the 20 years in the military, I would have fucking killed it because in the little time that I served, I did 3 years active and then 3 years reserve. And I
Yeah.
fucking killed it. I mean, I busted my ass. I worked hard. I moved up ranks. I did everything that I had to do. So I know that I could have been an amazing, you know, officer because that's really what I wanted to be. I wanted to become a warrant officer.
Oh,
But, due to life circumstances that I didn't ask for, things turned out differently. But then I compensate myself by saying this I would have never had my beautiful daughter. And, I wouldn't have gone through all the growing pains that I went through and made me who I am today.
okay. And I want to end this part with younger Karen.
Mm.
If she was sitting in front of you before the military, before motherhood, and before the hard moments, before life even started, what would you tell her?
To not listen to anybody but yourself. Don't allow those inner voices in your head. Don't allow your family's past dictate what you can be and what you cannot be. If you dream about doing something, don't let nobody stop you but yourself. And unfortunately, I didn't do a lot of things because I always second guessed my mom or my family or this or that. And I didn't pursue my dreams because I didn't have the support that I needed back then.
Yeah.
So I would definitely tell that to little Karen, no, like, this is what you want to be, then fucking make it happen, you know? You only get one life. And if you're gonna become old and elderly, in a fucking home or with grandkids, and you're gonna say, damn, my life was okay, or my life was fucking amazing. I did everything I wanted to do, you know? So,
I think your younger self and you now deserve a hug because you've gone through a lot of shit and you should be proud of who you became because without the struggles, you wouldn't be the person that you are.
yeah.
All right, Karen, this is the last segment.
All right.
Yeah. I'm like swimming in all the feels right now.
I know. I'm holding myself back. Trust me.
All right. We got emotional and I need a little break. Karen and Diana, both of y'all have to answer. No overthinking, no trauma dumping, no life lessons, just chaos. Ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. What's your military you had to be there story? Because every veteran has one.
My story would be anything in the field because fucking I had no sleep, fucking dirty for days, eating random fucking snacks out of my cargo pockets, and somehow still saying I'm fucking building character out here. But the craziest part is me stepping on a motherfucking desert lizard barefooted where I wanted to cut off my fucking foot because I
Oh my
hate
God.
reptiles.
For me has to be we had room inspection. So in Korea, I was in charge of the female barracks room. And my roommate and I'm never gonna forget. The best roommate I've ever had, Sarah. I love her to death. I think she just retired. She got it as a sergeant major. She's from Trinidad. So you can already know her
Oh,
attitude is
yeah.
like she's from the Caribbean. She does not play. But her
Yep.
and I, we were always on the same page. So our rooms was always immaculate. And they chose our room for inspection, and our room had rugs. So we had a rule that anybody that came into our room had to take their shoes off. How about I told the sergeant major, you gotta take off your boots. That motherfucker took off his boots, and guess what? He ran around, he saw the room, he made sure there was no liquor in the refrigerator, blah, blah, blah. When he stepped out, he goes, Specialist Diaz, thank you so much for the room tour, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, and never, ever in your right mind tell a sergeant major to take off their shoes, you heard? And for the next 6 months, every time you see me, you're gonna drop to give me 50.
Damn.
Uh,
Yep. All because I wanted to be a smart ass and tell a sergeant major, you gotta take off your boots before you come into the room. How about that?
My
well, he's a little bitch ass and did it. So I don't know what
yeah.
the
Yeah.
fuck he's crying about.
Yeah.
Or at least he
Yep.
didn't fuck up your rug.
Yeah, for sure. True.
That.
Yep. I was like the center of attention talk in the whole battalion for like months. Months.
Oh my god, yeah. I
Yes.
can see
Yes.
that.
Okay. What food did you miss most while serving?
For me, definitely Colombian food. Any arroz with beans, chicharrón, any of that shit. Empanaditas. And you know what? A shout out to Latin America.
Hell yeah. I miss my Cuban coffee.
Yeah. And cortadito, yup. And I
Yes.
miss my chuleta de pollo empanizado. Fuck yeah.
I miss my Cuban. To this day, I mean, I gotta go to my little carreta restaurant. I gotta go to get my Cuban fix, my pastelitos. Oh my God. Jess, if you've never tried that, you have to.
Yeah,
Yep.
I learned to make it because I missed it so much.
It's good crack, Jess. I promise you. It's good
Yes.
crack.
Mm. Okay. If your life had a soundtrack right now, what song is playing?
My shit is I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child because shit, my seasons changed every fucking day.
Damn, that's a good one. Definitely a song from Bad Bunny. Something with Bad Bunny, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just like super like hyped up with life and he doesn't care what people think. Like there's a song that is like I do whatever I want in Spanish. It's like,
Yeah,
it's a longer version. That's exactly how I feel. Like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want because you don't
you
pay my
should.
bills. So
Okay. Coffee, energy drinks, or pure survival mode?
I say survivor mode because, at this point, you really don't know what's keeping you alive. Although, if you drink coladita, you know you're going to have a good day.
survival mode.
Yep.
Yeah. Survival mode for sure. Coffee doesn't do anything to me. I was born and raised with coffee, so I'm like immune to it. Give me a colada, like let's go. People are like, oh my God, I need my coffee. It's like, yeah, I need it, but it's not gonna help me survive.
Okay. What's your toxic trait?
Thinking, thinking, and thinking, and not being able to fucking shut my brain down.
Yeah.
Doing a million things at once.
Yeah. Definitely my OCD kicks in. Everything has to be perfect. If I don't get shit done in a day, I wake up in the middle of the night and finish doing it. Like I cannot go to sleep.
Oh,
It's one of those things like, no, I gotta do it. Yeah.
Okay. And because I love a little chaos, Here's a bonus question. Who apologizes first in an argument? Are you the I'm going to sit over here mad?
No. I'm usually the first one. I'm like, "Bro, I fucked up." Or if I know that, like, the other person is wrong, be like, "Listen, I really don't care. I don't function well. I need us to talk. So whatever, fuck it. You did it, I did it. I don't care. Let's just move along." There goes Diana.
Not m
Diana's opposite.
not me. Not me. Hell no. I told Viking this when I first met him. I say, "Rule number 1, Diana is never wrong. Rule number 2, if Diana is ever wrong, refer to rule number 1. Therefore, rule number 3, don't even say I'm wrong." But I do apologize. If I really fuck up, I really do. I'll be the bigger person. I take responsibility for my shit. But it's really hard for me to say, "I'm sorry" sometimes and actually mean it.
Mm.
Like, if I really fucked up, you're gonna get a big ass text message of me explaining why the fuck I fucked up.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I say, "Hey, my bad," it's just kinda like I'm just brushing it off.
Yeah.
Just like,
No, no,
just
no.
get it over with.
Oh,
I'm gonna say I'm sorry, but before I end, I'm gonna make you feel like shit. And I'll be like, "Listen,
Yeah.
you fucked up, but I'm gonna say I'm sorry, but it was your fault. You fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry, but you fucked up." So it's like, and then what the problem with me is like my words are harsh. So I don't know if my situation is gonna make it easier or not, or I don't know. But I will say I'm sorry. Just because, like I said, like I have so much on my plate that I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm not talking to this person because we just got into a stupid argument. Like, just
Mhm.
squash it, like that's it. Like, I have to worry about a husband when I get home. Like, I don't want to worry about a husband and then someone that we just had like a different,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
different argument, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
all jokes aside, because this right here is probably the heart of the whole episode. Karen,
Hmm.
after everything we've talked about today, military life, motherhood, surviving all the hard things, trying to stay strong for you, for your daughter, for everyone, I want to ask, what does unfiltered and unarmored mean to you personally?
Then on the outside, we may look tough because, we're women that serve the military and that's just how we're categorized, right? Like, oh, you're a badass for joining. Like, damn, that takes a lot of balls to join. But in
Mhm.
the inside, we don't have a protection. We don't have, a flag vest internally. We don't have a Kevlar wearing on our head, that protects us from anything that comes across. So when I hear the word unfiltered and unarmed, only because we've gone through harder shit in the military. We went through boot camp. We've gone through qualifying with an M16, with an M9, being in a gas chamber, sleepless nights, getting screamed at, getting tested, getting bullied, getting downsized, talked to, anything you can think of. That does not mean that when we come out here in the real world, quote unquote, we're not as fragile as anything can be. We're still going through it and we still deal with, I would say, more emotional
Mhm.
experiences than ever, because it's things that, we haven't been able to like work through because we're still trying to manage how to survive in our everyday life. So that's why I always say we got to pick and choose our battles. We choose
Yeah.
today, what do we want to fight with? What do we want to fix? And what we want to continue learning from each other and from ourselves. So that's definitely how I see it. We're unfiltered, we're raw, we go through it all. We're human beings, we're
Mhm.
women, yeah, we're badasses, but at inside we're fragile, where we have things that we're working through or that we haven't been able to work through. And since we're so drained in the military that you just gotta get up and go or hurry up and wait, that's a model,
Yeah.
right? You gotta just do shit. So when you come out here and you do it as well and you don't find that same speed as you're used to in the military, that gets very
Mhm.
exhausting. You break down. You don't have a weapon to protect you. You don't have something to say, I got you. Like, you're okay. It's okay to feel this way. So, definitely that.
I love that.
What do you hope people listening take away from your story today?
First and foremost, a lot of people know me. I do own a business, and people see the
Yeah.
Karen that loves like Disney and, is always chipper and happy. There's another Karen behind the scene, behind the camera, behind the photos, behind it all that is fragile, deals with depression, deals with PTSD, deals with health issues all the time, has her days where she questions herself, am I doing a good job as a mom, as a wife? And that's part of being a human, period. It's okay to, just have your off days. Just make sure that you get the proper help that you need. And if you feel like you're not getting the proper help, then, you have to find an outlet somehow. You just can't let that build inside of you because from experience, I did that because I had that mentality like you don't have time to cry about it, you don't have time to bitch about it, you just got to go 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 go. And when I stopped, I just broke down and I was a complete fucking mess. There's a other side of me that, deals with everyday struggles.
I'm glad that you did tell people that that's something that we should check into.
Finish this one. What people don't see is,
That I have dreams that I have not been able to accomplish, and it's a constant battle that I deal with every day.
oh,
See, Jess, this is why I love conversations like this because sometimes people see the strength, but they don't see the survival behind the women.
yeah. Thank you so much for showing up here today, Karen, and trusting us with your truth, your story, your pains, your struggles, and I don't want to say resilience because I fucking hate that word, but
Mhm.
really just all that you've put in to overcome everything that's been thrown at you. Like, I just want to thank you for being here
No,
today.
thank you for having me. It's like a therapy session at the same time. I'm always talking crap about my therapist and I'm always changing therapists because like I don't click with them. So it's like, can I just fire you today? Because I'm sorry. It's like going on a date. Like,
Yeah.
off the back, like, yeah, we're gonna click. No, let's not bullshit around.
Mhm.
And it was fun. It's fun because, you ladies have been, in my shoes, in different scenarios, right? We all have our different stories, and your stories are your stories. But some way or another, we meet at the end. And it's so refreshing when you can talk to someone that you don't have to finish the sentence because you already know what the fuck they're going to say. And it's very hard to find that. And that's one of the things that I miss about the military, and I think that's what has not allowed me to like say like I'm fully a civilian. I feel like I'm never gonna get over that. But
Yeah.
so yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
Yeah. Thank you for being real because being vulnerable isn't always easy. Talking about hard things are not ever easy. But sometimes thinking strength means pretending you're okay.
Mm.
When being strong sometimes means saying, hey, you know what? Fuck, I'm struggling. I need fucking help. We need to reach out. This is what I talked about in episode 11 of the podcast is like women supporting women. And I think we need as veterans to come together as a team and support each other because we are the
Yeah.
only ones that know what we go through.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
This was Unfiltered and Unarmored.
Real talk from two women veterans, life after service, healing, identity.
And the chaos in between.
And today's chaos was military life, motherhood, strength, survival mode, and healing. From our battle buddy, Karen.
Yes. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
And wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all the good places.
and send us a DM or email at unfilteredunarmored@gmail.com.
And tell us what's something you're finally allowing yourself to heal from. What's something people think you're strong about, but they don't see the hard part behind it.
Or tell us what topic you want us to talk about next, because we're building this with y'all, not just for y'all.
And we love hearing from y'all. And remember, strong people need support too. Strong women need rest too. And carrying everything by yourself does not make you stronger.
Not perfect,
Never perfect,
just real,
just healing.
just figuring it out.
One chaotic episode at a time.
Bye.
Bye.